Hey guys, and welcome to Pixel Cherry Ninja's channel. It's the weekend, which means only one thing. It's time for that weekly news roundup. As always, we will begin with FPGA gaming news, the MiSTer, the Analogue Pocket, and well, any other FPGA gaming news out there that is worth reporting. After that, we will move over to some random and retro gaming stuff. Before we begin, guys, I do have a Patreon set up. If you wish to further support the channel, you can definitely do that. And before we go further in, guys, I do also have a sponsor, Mr. Addons, an absolutely awesome family-run business. Check them out for all your MiSTer needs, whether it's a full setup or bits and bobs. Finally, a shout out to London's best arcade free play city. Anyway, guys, let's get into this week's video. Let's see what JT and team have been up to. So let's start by looking at this game here, which is Tehkan World Cup, a beta that was released a few weeks back. Some improvements have been made to this core. Correct video timing, including frame rate, 3 kHz anti-alias audio filter for PCM. We've also got 16-step volume control for PCM audio, priority control for character and sprite layers. So comparing it to last week or previous week's update, the new version of this core implements analog controls via analog stick on gamepad, anti-alias audio filter and variable audio gain matching PCB, video layer priority control matching PCP, dip switches are correctly read by the CPU. Now, from what I understand, this had trackball controls as well. They haven't quite been implemented yet, but hopefully we will get trackball controls in the future. Another game that has been made available as doing the work for Tehkan World Cup is this game here. It's called Grid Iron and it's an American football game. So guys, if that's your jam, maybe this is something you want to try out. From what I understand, this game was a commercial flop. However, every game, no matter how good or bad, has its fans, and it's always a welcome addition to get additional games for our FPGA platforms. Some other fixes from Harringay and team. Well, this game here, JTWWFSS, which stands for WWF Superstars. As far as I'm concerned, this is the best wrestling game out there. But there was an issue on the Analogue Pocket which has been resolved, and the release notes say fixed bad graphics on right side of the screen on the Analogue Pocket. So if you were having issues with this release on your Analogue Pocket, check it out now. It should all be resolved. And one of my favorite systems that Harringay and team have brought over to FPGA gaming. I enjoy this on the MiSTer, I enjoy it on the Analogue Pocket. It's the SEGA System 18 or the JTS 18. So one of the issues that was present with Moonwalker was coin assignment. Well, now the coin assignment for Moonwalker has been fixed. This isn't an issue I experienced personally because I haven't had a friend around playing MiSTer or Analogue Pocket with me since the time this core got released. But if you're a social butterfly and your friends want to moonwalk with you, well, the coin alignment or assignment should be resolved. The Fairyland story. So this last little part here from Harringay and team, Harringay is intending to release 2 games by the end of the holiday season of 2024. So we're kind of talking like end of the year, end of December, or like the first week in January. The first game that we should be seeing is this one here, which is the Fairyland story. Now, the PCB for this is quite a complex PCB, but it's something that Harringay should be releasing as a beta core release. I like this game a lot. I generally like single screen platformers as a general rule. Now, apparently this is either the granddaddy or the daddy of Bubble Bobble. Either way, I'm looking forward to it. I played this on like the MSX core in the Analogue Pocket recently and I enjoyed it, so I definitely look forward to the arcade version, and a great way to kind of round up the year. Fantastic game, looking forward to it. So Cowabunga people, and this is a game I'm looking forward to. Now I just want to say before I go further in, I'm not sure if this is the game that is in question. So on Harringay's latest Patreon post, he says there will be one more beta core that Harringay wants to get out. This time it's a 90s game of Harringay's choice for a change. He's targeting the evening of the end of 5th of January 2025 for this one. This is a big system and a hard schedule, but the motivation is high. Like, I don't know what it is over on the Discord, people are saying different games, and I was like, you know, I'm going to chuck my guess in there, and maybe I'm just chucking my hopes in there, but here we are, Turtles in Time, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, is something that I played a little bit on the SNES, but not the arcade version, so I look forward to this. But guys, I just want to point out again, I don't know what this 90s game of Hatago's choice is. I'm hoping it's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Turtles in Time. It could be something else as well. If you kind of have an idea, or if you want to take a guess, then yeah, leave a guess in the comments below. Let's see what kind of fun we come out with. But either way, whatever game Hatago decides to drop, I'm sure it will be something I will thoroughly enjoy. So, cowabunga. Remember guys, we spoke about the Philips CDI core, something that developer Slammy is working on. That core has been updated. I've been busy during the week, even doing a video today. I had like some family emergency to take care of. That's why the video's late today. But yeah, the core has been updated. Not had a chance to check it, but as Video Game Esoterica's title here suggests, MiSTer FPGA CDI core updated, more games work and more Mario. So it's nice to see this making progress. I will check this out again at another point, likely during a live stream, but for now it's been updated. So if you've got this already, get yourself the updated version. If you haven't got it and you want to try it, it's definitely an interesting, it's not a great system, but it's definitely fun to try it, and it's always nice to see this stuff getting preserved. Let's have a look at core developer Raki, who has most recently given us the Konami Bubble system, which has games like TwinBee and Gradius on there. So the latest Patreon post here says you should get bubblesys.zip and twinbee.zip from somewhere. You can listen to longer morning music. Soft reset doesn't work right now. And just having a look at a couple of tweets regarding this. So let's translate these and give them a read, and hopefully Google has done a good job. I implemented the bubble system on an FPGA. The blinking LED on the bottom right is the bubble memory access lamp. The information obtained from silicon analysis of the bubble memory controller K005297 was useful. The rest is a bubble memory writing tool. Okay, so let's now move over to the next one, and that's really nice. So the bubble memory, when you launch it up, the original arcade hardware had to warm up to a certain temperature, and that's why you've got that screen there warming up now. So from what I know, the FPGA core, when you boot it up, it goes through that timer. So that's fantastic. Maybe there's a way of getting rid of it. I don't actually know. And another translation here where Raki says the circuit diagram for the ROM version of the bubble system is also complete. We would like to express our deepest gratitude to Mizu-san for kindly lending us the equipment. There are no major changes in specifications, but there are some minor differences in timing, such as synchronizing interrupts from LS147 with LS174. There are retired registers and new registers. And always nice to see collaborations between awesome people like Raki and Vertex. So a tweet here from Raki reads, thankfully Vertex has decapped and photographed the K005295 sprite engine. This is an NEC CMOS 4-2UM gate array, 2160 gates, reverse engineering. This should be a great improvement to the Salamander's currently incomplete sprite engine. Here we go. So improvements to the Salamander core, courtesy of Vertex and Raki. If we cast our minds back, recently on the channel I did a video having a look at the SNES core that's been updated with the ability to use save states, and this was courtesy of Paul BNL. Well, now that core has been updated, so the update notes read, the savestates.bin file is now auto-loaded as boot1.rom. This requires unstable main for today, fixed first state load after core load, add DSP cart support. Now here's the video that I did recently. So what you would have to do is when you launch the core, initially you would have to go bring up the OSD, and you would have to load the save state bin file manually. Well, now it does it for you. So it's always nice to see these quality of life updates. It's a fantastic core. If you're a person that likes save states, then you definitely want to check this out. Get yourself an unstable build. It works really, really well. It doesn't work on every single game, but it does work on a whole bunch of games like Contra 3 that we're looking at over here. Another update from Paul BNL, and this time it's for the Super Game Boy. The release notes read, add save states, updates from SNES core, fixed MSU audio looping, fixed noise channel pitch, option to remove audio pops. What's happening in the wonderful world of Retro Remake? The company that make the Mr. Pie that Taki Uron is involved in. So here's a few tweets. I have pushed up one in our production schedule so it can start mechanical design and PCB routing ASAP. So the project name for the one is the MiSTer Pi that's based around the PlayStation, and we've been given like a little preview kind of shot of it, and that's what you can see over there. Having a look at the next one, Nick here asks regarding that last tweet you looked at, some of the PS1 snack boards have a composite adapter on them to use with gun cons. Any chance of that on this? And Takiyudon replies yes. And the final one here, it's happening, and we can see some of the PCB kind of design, and well, whatever it is over here, it looks funky either way. Something interesting here from Retro Remakes. So a tweet here, we look at a few tweets from Takiyudon, but low-cost PCB upgrades for retro controllers are on the way. USB or USB plus Bluetooth, 1000 Hz polling rate, and open source. And let's have a look at the pictures here, because I've made them a little bit bigger, and we can see some of the stuff here. So here's a PCB that you can insert inside your Super Nintendo controller to kind of modernize it somewhat. Having a look at the next one, Amused to Death, kind of like that name says, N64, and Takiyudon replies to that yes. So he's shown off SNES there, maybe SNES is first, and then he's going to tackle other systems such as the N64. And a tweet over here reads, and I'm interested in this because this is interesting, very cool. Any chance of a 2.4 gigahertz wireless USB dongle version with that polling rate? I used the Chris Joy's 2.4 gigahertz with the Demon Byte USB adapter, and it's great. I'm currently trying to figure out how to cram a 8-bit DOE M30 2.4 GHz board into a 3-button OEM Genesis controller. Best of luck with that, JD6, and I do hope you get that working for yourself. And a final one here, Taki here says, I have PTSD on trying to make OEM quality conductive rubber pads. It's black magic. 99% of replacement conductive rubber pads on the market are significantly worse than original. I don't know if I want to try and tackle that again. It's a deep rabbit hole. I certainly hope you find rubber pads that are as good as OEM quality designed ones. Let's see what Taki comes out with. A week in Zaparoo. I'm going to stop saying Tap 2, but for anyone that doesn't know, Zaparoo is now what Tap 2 used to be. So Bedroom Ninja here says mini NFC card reader case now available on Maker World if anyone wants to give it a go. Link in the first comment. So I'll leave a link to this tweet. If you want to check it out and you want to print it for yourself, then go ahead. Bedroom Ninja is your friend and he will help you. And here we have a tweet. Is it called a tweet? It's from Blue Sky. Actually, I've been using Blue Sky a little bit, guys, and I actually, for the most part, find it quite decent. However, I do need to log in from my web browser. I've just got the app installed on my phone at the moment. Note to self, log in the future. So Wizard here says the Zaparoo app is now open source. Enjoy, source lovers. And I think the next tweet here confirms the same thing. Zaparoo app is now open source. If you want to use it or do anything with it, you guys can. Zaparoo. On the Analogue Pocket side, guys, here's another developer that's on fire, Buddude 2. So the OpenFPGA GBC, the Game Boy Color Core, has been updated to version 1.3.2. Again, I haven't had a chance to check it out yet, and hopefully I will get a chance over the weekend. But the changes are listed here, and we can have a look at them. So changes: pulled in MiSTer audio changes, added option to remove audio pops, sorted display mode list, added VFD display mode, and issues: screen tearing, loading save states in Pokemon Yellow sometimes causes corruption on the GB core. Okay, not gonna lie, I don't like using that word. So when someone says not gonna lie, it usually means to me that they usually lie. So whenever they're gonna tell the truth, they're gonna say not gonna lie. Anyway, back to point. Buddude 2 here on his developer pocket is showing an Apple II core as a work in progress. So looking forward to this. I'm not really familiar with the system, but I know many people talk about it and are looking forward to it. It confused me at first when I saw it on my mobile, because when I had a look at it, that clearly there is an Atari Lynx, but at the top it says Apple II. So good work, Buddude 2. Dude, you are on fire. Not just on fire, but scorching. Buddude 2 again, boot screen, finally, Pocket FPGA Analogue Pocket. So this is an additional Game Boy Advance core. So we have one, I think, at the moment on Open FPGA by Spiritualized. So this likely will be the one based on the MiSTer FPGA core getting ported over to the Analogue Pocket. So again, really looking forward to this. Probably my most anticipated core on the Analogue Pocket, because I really do I really do like the Game Boy Advance, and it'll be nice to get a different version of the core on there. So definitely looking forward to this. But do too, keep up the awesome work. Seriously, when am I gonna grow up? I think I'll get bored of it, but I never get bored of it. So here we are, Analogizer. Next release is coming in, and that release may have even come. Let's have a look at the next tweet. So here we go, released. Game Boy and Game Boy Color Core for Analogizer adapter. Includes support for PlayStation or PSX, DS, DS2 gamepads, and works in digital and analog modes. Also, you can play using link cable with another Analogue Pocket friend. So great stuff here. They're great additions to the Analogizer. So another one here, Link's Open FPGA core for Analogizer Pocket released by Badu2. Image captures courtesy of Denny Metanol. So again, great time for the Analogue Pocket and great times for the Analogizer. What's going on with SuperSEGA? So they charge people €3 for a pre-order, and then they charge them the full whacker, whatever, 300 and something euros. Guys, I've got no clue, and I reserve my judgment on this stuff. However, if we look at what the community is saying, I mean, this has been picked up by many, not just small niche YouTube channels like myself, but bigger news channels out there as well. People pretty much believe this to be a scam. Now, people were speaking over my Discord saying that in their latest video, or someone else was speaking about it where it was in Spanish. I think Alejandro was saying that they got a letter from Sega or Sega's lawyer. So we don't know if Sega's going to shut this down. I have no idea where this is going. I recommended people not to part their money with this because I didn't see anything that I saw as concrete. And yes, that kind of gave me confidence in this project. I have 0% confidence in this project, but hey, let's see how it goes. I feel bad for everyone that's pre-ordered, but I certainly hope they get something, or at least they get what they believe they paid for. I guess we'll find out more in time, but things are definitely not looking good for SuperSEGA. I always like to keep you updated with what the game database are doing, because their indexing and catalog work is very important. Previously, or the last thing that they finished was like the Mega CD and the Sega CD, and it looks like now they are moving on to the Pioneer LaserActive. I don't even know what that is, and the Satellaview. The Satellaview, I know what that is. I've got videos on the channel about it, but yeah, interesting stuff. Keep up the great work, game database. This part here, guys, brings me joy. It really does bring me joy, and that is, okay, so if we look at classic PC games, or games that were classic on particular systems, like in this case the Nintendo 64, I love the PC ports that have been made available. Now, I recently tried The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. That was good. I really did enjoy Perfect Dark. I thought that was really good. Higher frame rate, widescreen, mouse and keyboard support if you didn't want to use a controller. It was fantastic. Now, I had a whole bunch of games I liked on Nintendo 64, but the two kind of flying spaceshipy games, whatever you want to call them, that I really liked were Rogue Squadron, and I played that on my Steam Deck because that one's available on Steam to buy. It's a good version, you should try it out. But what's really nice to hear is now Star Fox 64 is coming over to the PC, and it's going to be coming out soon from the looks of it. Star Fox 64 PC port announced, ready to R-Wings November the 25th. And a link that you can see in the tweet, if we go over to it and go over to the particular story, we can see the PC port of Star Fox 64 has been officially announced, hopefully releasing this holiday. Man, the holiday is just coming up. We're a few weeks away. It will be the best way to play the best Star Fox game. And here we have wide and ultra wide screen. Okay, so I've got a wide screen. I haven't got an ultra wide one, but if you've got one of those ultra wide monitors, you can play it like that. Unlimited FPS, HD, plus a ton more improvements to be announced. Guys, I'm really looking forward to this, and chances are when this comes out, I will do a live stream. So if you're unfamiliar with what Star Fox is in Europe, it was actually called Lilat was over here in the UK. I definitely prefer the Star Fox name, but guys, absolutely wicked. And Andros, we are coming for you. This is something a buddy of mine, Denitro Designs, is doing. He actually sells PC and t-shirts. If you're interested, you can check out his Etsy store. But guys, these are fantastic. Now, he told me a while ago he was going to do these, and I randomly saw this tweet and I was like, wow, amazed by it. So here are some more glamour shots of the Holo3DFX NES labels. So these are labels for your NES cartridge, especially if you've got a game and the label's knackered, or you picked one up from a car boot sale. You can now make it look nice and new again, and this is courtesy of Aerial Aces. Plenty more to come. Grab yourself some, and there's a link to the Etsy shop here. But having a look at these slightly bigger, look how nice they look, man. You can make them look really nice. And I did check out the Etsy store. He's got a whole bunch of good reviews. People that have bought this are very happy with the quality. So, you know, if you want to make your bubble cartridge glam and look like that, then consider supporting Denitro via his Etsy store, where you can purchase this stuff for yourself. It's time for some time extension, and this is an article that I read during the week and I was like, wow, good news. So a project that I have been following for some time, Yuzo Koshiro's Genesis shmup Earthion, is getting an upgraded arcade release. If you are a regular on the channel, and especially if you watch my live streams, I always talk about arcade games, the times, the experience, the friends are made, the foes that are made, the rivalries, everything. The arcade era was an amazing era. Some people prefer console games. I really like arcade games. I like console games as well, but if you lived in the arcade era, you have a better appreciation for it. So this one here, Earthion, that Yuzo Koshiro is releasing, the reason that I'm kind of featuring it this week, because I have featured it many times, it looks excellent. Not only is it coming out for the Mega Drive or the Genesis, as well as modern platforms, it's also due to launch on modern day systems too. Okay, we know that. And we've just discovered that an arcade release is taking place via Exa Arcadia platform. A location test has taken place in Japan, and it would seem that Arcadia version is going to be superior to the home version. And that's really good to know, because I always, when I talk about arcade stuff and why when we were younger the arcade was always the #1 choice, it's because when you had stuff like the Mega Drive, the NES, the SNES, the arcade games were always superior from a technological standpoint. So it's nice to see that happening in like 2024 or even 2025. I'll give you an example. When you had Street Fighter 2 for the SNES and you had like the one for the Mega Drive, the animation when the characters walked back, they didn't kind of lean back the way they did in the arcade. The housing stage had 2 elephants on each side instead of 3. So there was always, the arcade versions were always better. And it's just really nice to see that still coming in the modern age. There's an arcade version that's going to be superior than the Mega Drive version, even though the Mega Drive version does look fantastic. It just reminds me of going back into like the late 80s or like the early or the mid 90s. Fantastic. Looking forward to this anyway, man. Yuzo Koshiro is a legend, guy behind the awesome soundtrack in the Streets of Rage series. And yeah, can't wait for this game. Game of the year for 2025, pretty much already. I wish I had more time to play even more games. I play a plenty amount of games. I do live streams where I play and I talk to you guys. But this one over here, so last week we had a look at Mortal Kombat Arcade Edition for the Mega Drive. Well, now the Mega Drive's bigger adopted brother, the 32X, Mortal Kombat 2 32X Arcade Edition. This has been done by Master Lun Kui, and guys, no doubt it's going to be fantastic. If you've tested it out and you're playing it, let me know what it's like. But it's amazing seeing this stuff, and you guys should definitely check this out if you're Mortal Kombat fans. Going back to the premise that I need more time, but I need to make time for this because I really like what Billy Time Games has been doing recently. They've been taking classic games, they've done it to Street Fighter, they've done it to Mortal Kombat, where they've added an XP system, so your character levels up RPG style, becomes stronger, and it just adds like a nice twist to your old game. It's almost like modernizing it a little bit, giving it that DLC. It's like putting a slice of lemon in your water, right? It's a change, but it's a nice change. So this tweet here says, today I went a bit overboard and built an XP system for maximum carnage. I have been waiting to do another hack for this game for a while, and I am certainly glad I did it. Billy Time Games, I'm glad you did it too. So guys, maybe you want to check that out. I'll try and leave all relevant links in the description as I do. So guys, that was it for this week. I certainly hope you enjoyed this week's episode. If you did, then a subscription and a like is always super duper appreciated. Be absolutely awesome to one another, guys. This is Pixel Cherry Ninja